It's not something they do during the school day. They audition to get into this group, and we rehearse or try to rehearse every Thursday night between snow and whatever other catastrophes or things that happen or whatever, but that's what we do. We rehearse on Thursday night. So this is not, again, something that they do during the school day. This is them wanting to put the extra time in to come and play in this group. And we hope you enjoy our show. piece is called On Green Dolphin Street. Apparently this is a movie. I don't personally know it. This piece was made famous by Miles Davis. Our first piece was Latin. This piece is a little bit of, I guess, 50-ish into the 60s era. The soloist in this is Jacinto Murta. stories that they don't know about any of this. That's why they're looking like that. It might not seem like they go together, but actually they do. The first one is, one day I was in the office, Mr. Test and I were in there, and I went to this gray closet that's in the back where we keep the reeds. And I was looking for something, I don't know, some tape, my sanity, Mike and Keith's music, I don't know, my patience, I don't know. I was back there looking for something. And I don't remember what it was, but I was digging around, and back, in the real back, I found this box. I was like, what is this? And it's really old. I don't even know where it was, and I've been here a long time, and I've never pulled this out. I was like, gee, maybe I should look around and look for some, see what else we got hanging around here. So I opened the box up, and there's this really old receipt in here, and I said to Mr. Test, oh my God, I had no idea we had these. And what's in the box, I'm not telling you right now, because this is my other story that goes along with this. Kids will come up to me in this group, and you'll notice that it says stage band. Miss O, when's jazz band practice? I went, what? We don't have a jazz band here. Oh yeah, jazz band. I said, it's called stage band. Like, no, well, people don't know, he knows who it is who said this to me. People don't know what a stage band is. I said, there's times where I don't have much control over anything here. And the one thing I do have control over is that we still call this a stage band. We're not a dance band, which was the 60s, for those of you that may remember that. And it's the stage band. It says stage band on your folders, and it says stage band in your program. Now back to the box. Ashley Pinter, can you put your Barry sacks down and come up here, please? Okay, so in this box now, I've been the director of the stage band for, I'd say, 15, 16 years. No one has ever received this because, first of all, I didn't know they were there. But in this box, I found some maroon and white pins. And I'm going to present it to Ashley. You'll notice I had Ashley Pinter come up because she's the loudest. And I don't mean her instrument either. So, Ashley, I would like you to say very loudly for the rest of the band to hear. They'll all get one when they return their bow ties to me. Something they can put on their letter, and if they don't have one, Jacob, I'll give you one, because I know you're new to the band, to go along with their other stuff. All right, Ashley, read this and tell everyone what it says.
It says stage band, guys.
It says stage band. I found a whole box of stage band pins, and I'd like to let you guys know that you're all going to get one. I've never given these out. I didn't even know they were there. So you're not getting this until I get some time. All right, after those two long-winded stories, we have one more song for you. And I know you're going to know this one. It features Jacinto on tenor, Kelsey Cole on alto, and Jess Bella, and the trumpet section at the end. I'm sure they're going to do great. And this is a very famous Glenn Miller piece called In the Mood.
the best band, school band I've ever seen.
Excellent job. I'd like to thank all the students and parents for driving them, picking them up, bringing them to rehearsals. I know that the kids up on stage give a lot to play this, and I hope they had a fun time. I know I had a good time playing, working with them this year. And just in case you're wondering, the chair, last year they put a chair up, put my name on it, and this year they had another chair up, put my name on it, and they said, oh, the paper's bigger. I said, I don't want to sit in that chair. You better give me the nice chair. This is, but at this point, they don't need me anymore. As you can see, they play very well by themselves without me in front of them. So again, it's excellent job. If somebody, well, actually, we can flip the lights back on for a minute. We're going to reset the stage, and we're going to bring out the rest of this wonderful group back there, bring the marching band out, and we'll do the second half of our show. Thanks again very much. I present to you your 2009-2010 Marching Indian Band. Okay, let's see what we have next. I don't have a program in front of me. Presentation of senior members. Check with you. I think that's what it says next on the program. Before we do that, I would like to thank certain individuals that helped throughout the year. Our assistant band director, Mr. Christopher Test, thank you very much for your help. Deslande, please come up here, Ms. Deslande. Come on up. Thank you very much for all your help. Ms. Jennifer Rum, our dance line advisor, please come up. Thank you very much for all your help. Let's see. Trying to see who's in the audience tonight. I see Dr. Kim Deckenbaugh. She's the supervisor of fine arts. I would like to thank her for her support of the fine arts program. I'd also like to thank Don Pinter and the executive board of the Indian Bandwagon, because without those parents, we wouldn't be able to go anywhere, like move the stuff around. Our pit crew this year had a lot. I always had parents there to help us for the field show. Thank you all very, very much for that. Again, we wouldn't have been able to do it without you guys. Hold on one second. I had to make sure he was here first. On a very quick personal note, when we listen to the field shows at the beginning of the season, like right now we're listening for the field show for next year. We listened to the Billy Joel one and I said, what do you guys think of that? And they said, we like it, but the third number's a little, And I had Mr. Corral come down, voice of the Indian. I said, Mr. Corral, because is, you know, when he gives the stamp of approval, that's it. I said, Mr. Crow, what do you think of this field show? Billy Joel, I love Billy Joel. He said, Jill, I really like it, but when they play that third number, the fans are going to go get hot dogs. They're going to leave the stands. It was a number that, I guess, you know, when they put these shows together, they pick the songs. We all decided that the third number was a little bit boring. Billy Joel did write it, but it wasn't what we really wanted. We didn't have a drum solo, and I went home and I was complaining to my husband. You know, I never do that, but I was complaining to him about how this show would be great if we had a good third number. And he said, well, you know, I was talking about writing scenes for an Italian restaurant as a drum feature. And I said, well, we got a pretty strong drum section this year. I think that they could probably handle it. I said, the band's pretty strong. Why don't we put some band stuff in there? And my husband, John, wrote the third number, and we would not have been able to play that if we had that other third number. It was terrible. So, John, I would just like to publicly thank you for that very much. Our senior members of the band, and I called you guys up. Could you help us read some of their names? I've instructed them to stand up, squad ladies, if you would like to step out of line until we're done, and we can acknowledge all our seniors. We will miss you all immensely, immensely, okay? So, here's our seniors.
Okay, we have Devin Bajak. Caitlin Bradley. Andrew Brown. Brianna Cowman. Kevin Driscoll. Shannon Enright. Jessica Fowler.
Sherry McComb.
Robin Leonard. Mark Matthews. Curtis McLear. Travis Knowles. Cody Leffler. Jackie Colville. Kim Moran. And Bucky Ross. Melissa Nevar. Sarah O'Brien. Mike Opinski. Alex Pugh. Farouk Kapura. Brian Wendra. Eric Goldquist. Marissa Ickes. I think I got everybody right. Oh, Ashley Pinter. Ladies and gentlemen, our senior class, we wish them all the best, and we will miss you. She actually sat in my chair yesterday and took a picture and put it on Facebook, so I was just getting back from that. Because nobody sits in my chair in my office. All right, guys, have a seat. Apparently, Ashley did. And then to end our concert, I hope you've all had a good time. And after they're done with the parade medley, we're going to pull the 50-50. Again, if you'd like to buy tickets for the band banquet, Mr. and Mrs. Anwander are here. If you would like a DVD, just have them come in and let me know, and I'll announce it to them. Sometimes they forget, so that's why I'm telling you. And we'll order that for you. We have Father's Day, all the important dates are on the back. I put the rehearsals on the back, I put band camp on the back. If you have any questions, you can email myself or Mr. Test. You guys ready? Okay, they're always ready, they told me. Alrighty, here we go for our second half of the marching band part. This is our parade medley. group together, and it wouldn't be marching band without the squad. So thank you so much, girls, for coming and adding to the concert.